You're welcome.
Well, with us now is the Fox News senior judicial analyst, Judge Andrew Napolitano, who is now also the author of a new book called Theodore and Woodrow: How Two American Presidents Destroyed Constitutional Freedom. I don't really understand how this went from an affair through an email to an investigation on this level.
You know, I don't understand that either, Shep. And in order for the FBI to be reading the emails of the chief spy of the United States, the director of the CIA, they would either need a search warrant from a federal judge, in which case they'd have to demonstrate to him that General Petraeus himself was possessing or was involved with, evidence of a crime or was engaged in criminal activity, or they'd have to write their own search warrant under the Patriot Act, in which case they'd have to satisfy themselves that the general was involved in terrorist activity. Now, both of these is absurd, and neither of them could form the basis for this. The only other way they would surveil his emails is to have hacked into a CIA computer, which would then be a crime for them. So in any one of those three situations, the FBI has a lot of explaining to do. What were FBI agents doing monitoring the secret emails of the director of the CIA, and how is it the CIA didn't know about it? Because the FBI surely knew about General Petraeus' personal behavior long before this. They knew about it when they investigated him, when they did a background search of him prior to his confirmation as the head of the FBI. They knew about the relationship with Mrs. Brodwell then. So why did they need to corroborate this relationship by viewing his secret emails, which are against the law to view unless you have a search warrant? None of this is being answered. This, in my view, is just as troubling as Senator Feinstein's concern that the Congress wasn't notified. It's troubling because there are laws that the FBI has to follow, and General Petraeus, just because he's an adulterer, doesn't lose his constitutional rights. And he has the right to be protected from an unwarranted, unjustified investigation by the FBI or anyone.
A lot of elephants in this room. One of them is that the FBI and the CIA don't exactly work and play well together. They hate each other.
No, they have been bitter rivals since the CIA was first created in 1947. Think about it. They are the two most potent forces in the government outside of the military. They both possess lethal weaponry. They both frequently operate outside the law. Until 2001, the FBI was kept out of foreign issues and the CIA was kept out of domestic issues. President George W. Bush changed that when he compelled them, didn't authorize them, but compelled them to operate in each other's turf. We do not know if this is anything more than the FBI poking its elbow into the ribs of its longtime rival, the CIA.
I suppose that's one of the many possibilities. And the other thing that, as part of the broader issue here, General Petraeus had gone over and conducted his own investigation on Benghazi. Presumably, he has a lot more information maybe than many others would, but now, since he's stepped down, he doesn't have to testify, at least not for now, but may later. There's a lot there.
It's actually worse than that, because the murders in Benghazi occurred on September 11th. 3 days later, on September 14th, Shep, General Petraeus testified before both the House and the Senate Intelligence Committee, and he gave them the same version that Ambassador Rice would give 2 days later on September 16th. This was the reaction of innocent people to a YouTube clip made in California. If he was going to testify next week as the CIA director, he would have been met with a mountain of evidence to contradict what he had already said under oath. So might this trigger have been pulled to save him from perjury or to save the president from severe embarrassment?
Of course, we have no information to suggest that either of those is right, or the reason for such a thing, but it appears that that might have been the outcome.
Well, we don't know what the outcome would have been, Shep, because the first round of testimony was in secret and the second round of testimony was going to be in secret. But we know what was leaked from the first round, and that is he called the events that resulted in the murder of 4 Americans a flash mob, rather than a gang of people determined to invade the consulate.
A lot ahead here, Judge.
Oh, yeah.